I'm so proud and I'm so grateful that I won the lottery of life to be born here in Canada. Born of a teenage unwed mother, she put me up for adoption to 2 school teachers. They taught me that it didn't matter where I came from. It mattered where I was going. It didn't matter who I knew. It mattered what I could do. That's the country my wife came to as a refugee. That's the country that allowed her family, her brother to be a soldier, other brother to be a carpenter, her sister to be a nurse, and for her family to work hard and achieve great things. That's the country we want your kids and mine to inherit, but it's not the country we see today. Canada, after 8 years of this Prime Minister, this out-of-touch Prime Minister, is broken. Yes, it is broken. And what we see especially broken is the immigration system, which leaves 1 million immigrants waiting longer than the acceptable wait time to get into Canada. We see international students abused and exploited by human traffickers, shady consultants, some of them losing their lives and being sent back to places like India in body bags because this Prime Minister and his government have failed to protect them from the predators and the scam artists that are destroying their lives. We see 20,000 brilliant immigrant doctors blocked from working in their professions by government gatekeepers. 32,000 immigrant nurses blocked from their jobs. It boils my blood to sit in a hospital waiting room for 5 hours with my daughter who has a migraine headache because there aren't enough doctors and nurses, while gatekeepers block brilliant immigrant doctors and nurses from doing their jobs. Meanwhile, the Prime Minister gleefully tells us about all the wonderful meetings he's having with mayors about housing and infrastructure. I don't really care about their meetings, Mr. Speaker, because the gatekeepers at municipal governments, the government that this Prime Minister is funding with billions of dollars, are blocking housing construction so that our immigrants, our working class, and our youth cannot get homes. Yes, Mr. Speaker, after 8 years of this Prime Minister, everything is broken. But instead of fixing the basics, he's focused on another grand utopian project, that of his friend Dominic Barton, the multinational CEO, former ambassador to communist China, who helped bring about the opioid crisis that is savaging our working class families, has come up with a bright new idea that he's going to triple our national population to 100 million. Mr. Speaker, we don't need any more utopian schemes from globe-trotting millionaires and multinational insiders. What we need is some common sense for a change. So here's our common sense plan to get back to the basics. 1, clear the backlog so that immigrant families can be reunited, so that our farmers and our small businesses can fill jobs that are not for which there is not a Canadian available, and allow our churches, mosques, synagogues, and other nonprofit organizations to sponsor more legitimate refugees, get them language training so that they can learn how to speak French or English, get a job, get working, and get contributing. Speed up work permits for those people that are already here, waiting for their cases to be heard. They might as well be out earning a wage, contributing to the economy. They want to work, let them work. It's common sense, for God's sakes. And speaking of work, let's bring in a Blue Seal national standard for all of our professions. We have a Red Seal that allows tradespeople to take a test, prove they're qualified, get to work, and move across the country to fill needed vacancies in the job market. Why don't we have a Blue Seal that will allow foreign-trained nurses, doctors, engineers, and other professionals to prove they're qualified, and within 60 days of applying to work in their field, get a yes or no based on their tested ability, not based on where they come from. More doctors, more nurses, more common sense. Mr. Speaker, this is what I'm saying here is let's get back to the basics. Our immigration system was the best in the world 8 years ago. But now we have immigrants who come here and they actually say they want to go back. Because this is not what was promised. I said everything is broken. You know what is broken most of all? The promise. The promise of Canada. The promise that we will reinstill. A promise that in Canada, it doesn't matter where you come from, it matters where you're going. It doesn't matter if your name is Martin or Mohammed, whether your name is Singh or Smith, whether your name is Chong or Charles, whether your name is Patel or Polyev, if you work hard, you can achieve anything you want in the greatest country in the world, in the freest country in the world, Mr. Speaker. This is the common sense of the common people, united for our common home. Your home, my home, our home. Let's bring it home.